Hey guys, this is Alex from 4C Trading, and today unfortunately we cannot start video with good news. We got some bad ones, and SEC actually hit XRP with $1.3 billion lawsuit, right? They are taking a big fee onto them, and we had a trade on it not too long ago. Actually, we got filled right here, filled the first profit take, and then kind of was going sideways because Bitcoin dominance really started to break that 67 level right now, and right now we are approaching 69% dominance. So it is bad when it comes to XRP BTC pair charts, right? But now they even got some more FUD news onto them, and this FUD, I mean, basically this is a pretty big deal for them, and I'm do assure like we had about, let's see, about 60% dump on this news, right? But I wanted to make a video on XRP because if I hadn't known the news right now, I mean, I would have been trading this. This is one of the last areas on the higher time frames, and if you look at it right now from weekly standpoint, and I'm gonna clear the chart right now, you can see that this is actually one of the very strong areas on the chart that I would be taking all time long, right? And it's maybe not so visible on the left side from the weekly standpoint, but if you go down to daily, you will see it. As you can see, it is quite strong in this case, right? And we can maybe change it a little bit, right? So we go back to the right hand side, and you can actually see why would I even consider trading this. In the some sort of way, this is pretty good area that I would be taking many times, right? And if you look at it from a stance position of daily, right, we're probably gonna get a fat stop loss. But in this case, I would be playing this one a little bit different. And to be honest, it's not even that bad. It's 11% stop loss. So let's just say we obviously missed this correction right now, right here, right? But since the news are so bad, I will still kinda think about setting another trade here, just because if it comes down, it can weak a little bit more. So what I would do in this case right now, I would actually set my entry on the lower part of my chart. As you can see, just a little bit above the wick, because my logic behind this trade is, and I will show this on a lower time frame, if I set a trade like this, I can see I get even a smaller stop loss, which is about 7%. But now the logic is, if I tune down to like 5 minutes, you can see the kind of a structure that we created after we took the liquidity down here. And right now, if we do something like this, we're most likely gonna grab liquidity a little bit lower, because we haven't gained anything on the left side, even on a higher time frames, right? Basically on a higher time frames, yeah. So logic behind this is, if this doesn't go above this, something like this can happen, and we can actually get filled on a trade on a real micro stop loss. And it's not exactly like micro, but let's just say on daily or weekly time frame, 7% is pretty good stop loss, right? So we can get filled on something like this, and then correction can start happening on XRP. Even though they were hit by 1.3 billion lawsuits, right? SEC doesn't really have that much of a reach in Europe. In Europe, you would probably not give two shits about it if it happened, right? Sure, they're gonna be blocked and they're gonna have issues in America, but in stand of point, when it comes to coin, and yes, coin is now technically a security, right? It wouldn't really matter much, right? I mean, it is still one of the main coins, and most likely everyone knows them, right? And if nothing else, with this big fee that they're gonna be receiving right now, I mean, they gain some publicity as well. Now just think about it, right? I mean, if you're not panicking right here, and we're just taking this main trade right here, which essentially speaking, if you want to trade safely, it's not the best idea. It's not the best idea, because it's definitely far from one of my safest trades. But I do think there's a lot of lucrative potential here, because I do hope, or should I say, I do think that there's going to be some sort of a retracement, or some sort of a relief from XRP before heading towards new lows. If you start dropping this area, and let's just go back on weekly for a little bit, right? If you start dropping this area on Binance, you can see that XRP on Binance would be moving on the newer lows. Of course, if you do that on Poloniex and Ethereum, it's not going to be that drastic, but it's still pretty wrecked for a coin of this magnitude, right? So I don't think this coin will just disappear from everywhere just because something like this happened. I don't think they can even stop the coin. We all know they cannot stop the trading on decentralized exchanges, and not only decentralized, but they cannot stop the trading when it comes to XRP and stuff like that, no matter what kind of fees they up to them, right? So yes, it's not the safest trade, but in some sense, on the lower time frame, this makes of a perfectly legit, I'm gonna say, trade, or should I say in this case, quote unquote, gamble. It definitely makes it a pretty good legit trade, right? So let's go back to the trade, right? I would be putting my stop loss right under here. In this case, as you can see, we're getting about 7.8% on the stop loss, and that's not too bad, right? We might not get filled on this trade, but that doesn't matter, right? Because we are not taking this trade in the sense of, you know, that we need to take this trade. We're just taking this trade. If it gives us opportunity, it's gonna give it to us. We're gonna risk like 0.5 or 1% on it. Fuck it, right? We are good to risk that. But if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. We just move forward, right? So yes, the first profit take, as you can see, it's going to be quite soon, because now we don't know what we're going to expect on this coin. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to start TPing the first possible resistance that I can possibly see on the chart. We don't know what's going to happen with the coin. Is the coin going to have more FUD in the next weeks? We just don't know. So that's why we TP in very, very fast in this case. But even though we are TPing fast, because we are going for such a small entry, should I say such a tight entry, and I'm gonna delete this big box so we can actually do a little bit better one down here. So you can see we are going for such a small entry right here that even though having this small profit target at first, it's already bringing us quite a lot of profit, 1.8 R or 13% on the chart move, right? And then let's just say if XRP starts slowly recovering, we can definitely expect a second profit take all the way up here, because would be, even if we zoom out on a little bit of a daily time frame, you can see this is the main area that we need to break if we wish to do something, and if we wish to go back into the areas that we previously traded, right? So what we are doing here, we are taking the second profit take on the trade, on our entry trade from the previous long that we did on our previous video on XRP, right? So I'm going to be putting a line right there. I'm going to be putting it just like this, a little bit front running, nothing too special. And we can now see if we scale it all the way to up here, it is 38% or 4.9 R, you know. So usually, you know, when there's blood in the market, a lot of people will panic, and what we've seen today is definitely panic, you know. But sometimes these markets give you opportunity as well, as just something that I was telling in stream today right now. Corona, for me, market-wise, Corona was actually very good for me personally, right? Obviously, we couldn't go out, we couldn't do fun stuff or anything this entire year, right? We've pretty much been in lockdown since the beginning. But, you know, market-wise, I made hell of a lot of good trades on normal markets, on crypto markets, just everything because of Corona. Bitcoin crashed to 3K, and look at that, the same year we go to 24K. It's absolutely been beautiful, right? First you got a crash from 10K down to 3K, and then from 3K up to 24K. That is absolutely insane gains that we will probably not see in a long time, right? Maybe we've seen in crypto, but in standard markets, something like what happened with oil this year, absolutely amazing, right? You're not going to be seeing this shit every year, right? Unless you're going to be some economic crash or anything that doesn't even make sense to predict that kind of stuff, because, you know, people have been predicting economic crash for a long time right now and still hasn't happened. So, you know, I wouldn't want to be one of the guys who would try to, you know, even time that thing even closely remotely possible, right? So yes, you can even see that if we move it a little bit down to the middle of this, the stop loss could eventually be even smaller, so the profit take could be higher, you know, but just don't make the stop loss too small, because you can easily weak past it. There could be more FUD coming. So the biggest FUD that you can possibly receive right now on XRP is that some exchanges would choose to delist it due to the fact that, you know, just what happened with XRP, and they would actually be afraid of it, and they would delist it, you know, just so they wouldn't want to go. They wouldn't want to stand bad in their eyes, you know, it's just in case something happens. But I actually think this is a bad thing, because, you know, crypto is supposed to be this out of the world thing, right? It shouldn't follow the rules of the real markets and everything. I mean, not just yet, right? As soon as we start letting stuff like this happen, you know, markets start reacting too much to the real life stuff, well, then you're gonna have a problem, right? Because then you're essentially turning the crypto market into real market, and, you know, where is the decentralization at that point, right? It's basically non-existent, right? So yes, as I can say again, guys, you might not get filled on this trade, right? Because this trade might be avoided. We might not have a dump like this anymore, right? We just had. But if we get to have one, right, I'm gonna call it exhaustion, and I'm definitely gonna be buying it and trying for a trade with my stop loss under here and see what the hell happens, right? It can go that bad that it would be unsalvageable, right? So yes, guys, please do join us at Free4C community channels, right, where we discuss trades like this, we discuss stop losses, we discuss Bitcoin analysis, Ethereum analysis, and pretty much, you know, talk about how you guys can be become better traders or help you with it, right? And also please subscribe to our channel on YouTube, show us some love, watch our videos, like our videos, share our videos, right? Definitely like seeing a community engaging with us. So yeah, leave some comments below. I usually try to answer them all, right? So thank you for watching, guys, and we will be seeing each other in the next one.